Hello there, YouTubes. This is Grimweird, and of course, his lovely avatar, Zombie Steve, coming back at you with more Enigmatica 2 Expert mod pack for Minecraft 1.12.2, I believe we're on. And so, yesterday, or I should say the last episode, we set up our pink slime farm out at the cattle ranch, and that's going well. I stuck around a bit longer, got 20 pink slimes, fixed the fence, everything looks good out there. So I'm happy with how that's cruising along. I am probably going to have to plant some wheat. We'll have to see. I'm not much of a farmer, but I can plant a little wheat just to keep that going if I need more pink slime. But the other thing was, since we're now cruising around in industrial foregoing, we've got our pink slime, got our add-ons, got our animal baby separator, our material, our animal feeder. We made this, but we haven't cleared this yet. But I wanted to go ahead and make the enchantment extractor, so I have been sort of farming enchantments to burn up experience. Loot chest. Top tier food, always edible, buffs player, 8%. Sweet. So we got some nice food. So I've been just burning up experience. Not that I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to enchant, but so just on drops, monster drops, leather armor, and what have you, I've been building up some stuff just to burn up my experience. And now we finally have an enchantment extractor from Industrial Foregoing. Let me show you its features. So we put this, where does it go? So it goes there. It's got three things on it. I don't know that I need repellent 4. Teleports things away from you. I don't really need that. It goes from the top down. So I would like to take, if I give it one book, it will take off fire protection. I want that. And if I give it another book, it will take off Unbreaking 3. I want that. And then I think I'll just hold on to this bad boy for later. So now for this hat, I want Unbreaking and Aqua Affinity, so I will give it 2 books. Get Unbreaking and Aqua Affinity. And I do not want Unstable. Protection 4, I'm going to go ahead and take that off of there. And blast protection and unbreaking. And I'm out of room. Okay, so that's that. We've got blast protection 4, water walking. I was going to go ahead and try that. I've never actually tried that. I might not like it, but I'm going to give it a try. And projectile protection. Going to grab that. And I want Aqua Affinity. And I want Blast Protection 4 and Respiration 3. So now, I think that was most of what I wanted to do. From what I've got so far, I've still got 44 levels and I haven't mined through this stuff in a while. I already got feather falling. Let's see. What am I missing here? I got fire, I got normal protection, I got fire protection, feather falling, aqua affinity, unbreaking, unbreaking, unbreaking. I only need 3 of those, so that's done. That's a garbage one. Repellent. think that's most of what I had that I wanted. I thought I had something. Let me double check again here. I thought I had some block reach on something. There it is. So we want this bad boy too. So all we want is block reach off of this, but we'll have to suck the other two off too, but we can sacrifice them for a crucible to get Pricantesio essence if we need to. So we're going to take all three of those off just to get block reach. And there we go. So I am still, I need to get back around to hunting mobs. I need to find, I want a flux infused, so I got the flux infused leggings there on breaking 3 and holding 3. I want to get the flux infused chest and helmet as well. And then I'm going to throw all these books on, enchant them first, hopefully with holding 4, and then throw a bunch of these books on them. I can start throwing books on my legs and on my feet armor. Anyway, I don't want to blather on and on about this, but I was happy to finally get the enchantment extractor and sort of reap the benefits of all of this enchantment mining that I've been doing in preparation of getting some good armor and stacking it with all the enchantments I want. So that plan has come to fruition. And now, let's see, what else are we going to do this episode? I don't think there's anything else drastic that I want to do here. So I think the two things that are probably going to be the most transformative to my game at this point is some automated mining and applied energistics storage. Let's take a look at if we are close to getting into applied energistics. So an episode or two ago, we opened up industrial foregoing, and as you saw, we've made a few machines there and done a few things there. So we do have this available. Skystone blocks we can make. Fluix blocks I think I can make. Fluix crystals. I took a look at this. I don't think I'd ever used Applied Energistics before I tested out this mod pack just before starting this series. But it seemed like most of the crystal stuff was pretty straightforward. You just threw things in water and they popped back out, and I think in the old days it might have been harder to purify them, but now there are machines that purify them, so that didn't seem too hard. Let's see. Looks like this might be something that we got to worry about. So we need a Manufactory from Nuclearcraft. So I'll need to make that. Insulating glass, I can do that. Vacuum tubes, I can do that. Copper coils, those things. I think I made enough of those to hopefully get us a little ways into Applied Energistics. Got that. I'm thinking the only thing that's really going to stop us from moving straight into Applied Energistics at this point is... What about that? No, we can do that. We can do that. An inscriber. We can make that, I assume. Looks like the only thing that's going to keep us from going straight there is we need to make a Manufactory, which is pretty early in Nuclearcraft. So let's take a look at Nuclearcraft. First of all, on the gates, it is available to us, and the Manufactory is the first thing we got to make. I have made advanced platings for our plutonium RTG, where we got the fuel from a dragon. So that I know I can do. And the rest of this, we can make mixed metal ingots. We can do all of that. We're good to go. So we're going to make the Manufactory and launch ourselves into Applied Energistics, I think. And in my spare time, I will take a look around and see what kind of options we have for automated drilling. I think like 3 or 4 of these mods have automated mining, but I don't know which ones are the easiest and least expensive to get into. I don't necessarily need to, do epic amounts of mining, just sort of like a middle of the game kind of automated mining. So we'll see what there is. A lot of these mods have it. So I'm going to gather up our things and launch ourselves into the Nuclearcraft Manufactory and see if we can get the Applied Energistics open. So let me run around and gather components, and we'll come back when we get some things ready to roll. Be back shortly. Alright, so I made a Manufactory. It was pretty easy, so we got our Nuclearcraft Manufactory plugged in. I picked up our osmium compressor because I don't think we have any more immediate use for that. It's for making refined glowstone, refined obsidian, and stuff for Osglow glass, but we got all the Osglow glass we need for the moment. So our Nuclearcraft gate is open. So loot chests are such a mixed bag. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the advanced plating. I know I'll use those, whereas there's probably only about a 10 to 12% chance I will actually use whatever's in a damn loot crate. So I grab those, and what do we do next? We were looking at getting into Applied Energistics. So we are looking to open this gate, and we need all this stuff. So this was what we needed Nuclearcraft for. We need to turn sugarcane into bioplastic. So I have some sugarcane that I put at a farm like a long time ago that I've never actually collected. So let's run out and grab that real quick. I wouldn't normally bother showing you, but we could go outdoors. Probably ought to, in between this episode and next, harvest all of this hemp, which I think I have enough hemp to last me for a while, and replace it with wheat to keep feeding our cattle farm. So when I thought I was going to need paper before I got a bunch from a friendly village, I went and got a bunch of sugar cane and planted it all here. Oops. But then I got a bunch of free paper from a village and various loot chests, and I never came back and harvested this. So we will pick this up now. Obviously this is a messy farm. I tend to do things quick and dirty unless I actually think I need to get organized. And so obviously with over a stack of sugar cane, I've got all I need right at the moment. So we wanted, as I've mentioned multiple times, but I haven't yet in this episode, it's always good to make sure if you need extras of whatever these gating things are. Most of these gate items here are the central case or box or block, if you will, that you use to build all the other stuff in the mod and possibly other mods. I don't know if that's the case in Applied Energistics. We got an ME Controller. I don't know if I'm going to need a ton of those. I think eventually I will probably need extras, but I think right now I don't. So I'm not necessarily going to make extras of these, I don't think. How many machine cases do I have? I'm going to double click there for those that aren't familiar or are returning to. There we go. Froze up a moment. For those who are returning to, you can double click in the search box and it turns yellow, and then it'll highlight stuff for you. So we got machine blocks, advanced machine casing, basic machine casings, and machine case. So I got 4 of them left. Yeah, I'm definitely only going to build one ME controller right at the moment. I can always make more later if I need more, but it takes up 2 of them. So we got those. The Fluix Pearl. I got to make a little pit of water and start throwing stuff in water to get pearls and stuff. So I got to remember how to do that and then start doing all of that. Skystone block is just Skystone block is just cooked skystone, so I'll get some of that cooking. Looks like we're only going to need 2 of the bioplastics, so I will go ahead and get that cooking. Let's see, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. That was simple. And then we need 4 of the elite controls. I'm not sure if I've made any of those yet. No, I haven't, so I'm going to have to make some of those. I just put a wooden storage crate in the wall for the stuff like the fuels that go into the metallurgic infuser and the products that come out, since I have several of them here. But let's see, I forget what it takes to make that one. Oh, it's crafted, and we need a total of 8 of the blue ones and 1 of the orange. So I've only got 6 of the blue and none of the orange. Alright, so I'm going to whip all that stuff up, and when we come back we shall attempt to make our, I'll show you, in case you've never seen it, how to play around with the, I don't have an inscriber yet. I have to make an inscriber too. Alright, so maybe all we'll really accomplish in this episode is making a bunch of crystals. So let me remember how to do that. I think I just need a little bucket of water and, or a little water spot, and to drop them in there. But let me figure out how to do that real quick, and I will return. And we'll get all our stuff, our crystals built up, and get everything we need going, and then we'll try to see if we can then make this. Be back after a jump cut. Okay, before launching into a bunch of applied energistic crystal making, I did remember that, hey, we just opened up the gate on Nuclearcraft by making the Manufactory, but we did not go to Nuclearcraft tree and do that. So this was just a check mark and a claim, so nothing too exciting there. But we do get credit again for the Manufactory, so we'll grab that. And we do already have advanced plating, so we can grab that. And we do have some basic plating left over from when we were making our plutonium RTG. So we did get a couple of loot boxes here. Let's see if we got anything interesting. More food, but it's food that I haven't eaten yet, so that's good. And more Cocobolo doors. Not too exciting, but okay. So now, honest, I will start figuring out how to make crystals and make some crystals, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm not going to try and bore you all with a lot of crafting, but I will say that one of the things we're going to need is a one of these bad boys, which takes a couple of vacuum tubes, which is something we haven't made before on a machine we haven't really used much before or shown much about. So we got an engineer's workbench. We used it to make the molds here that we're using with this metal press. And if we go here, we're going to be looking for the crafting components blueprint. We're going to put that in the blueprint slot. That'll, holding shift will tell you what it makes. We're going to be looking for the vacuum tube. If we mouse over that, it looks like it takes any old glass, a nickel plate, a copper wire, and some redstone. So I'm going to throw some glass, nickel plate, copper wire, and redstone up there. And we got 3 of those, and we needed 2. So there you go. Just wanted to show you real quick. Again, if you're new to some of these mods, that's how that one works. And I'll continue on with making the subcomponents to see if we can get this Applied Energistics ME Controller done today. Okay, so I need to liberate some of my charged Certus quartz. One thing I always have to do is I have to pull this bad boy up and see what the best way to do it is. We now have a bunch of machines that I'm not familiar with quite really, and a bunch of options for getting our charged Certus quartz out of this Silk Touch door. So Fortune 3 is going to be a minimum 1 and a maximum 8. And enrichment chamber is usually good. That ore is going to give us a guaranteed 4. Crusher would be 2. That crusher would be 2. You can energize it and turn normal Certus quartz into that with this machine, which we could maybe make. I don't know if we need it. Yeah, we could make that. So if we have to, we can go that route. And a sag mill. We don't have. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of dark metal or dark steel or Ender IO open yet. So I think for right now, rather than throwing it down and looting it with my looting 3, I'm going to go ahead and try the enrichment chamber for a guaranteed 4 per. That'll give us 36 of these bad boys. That should be plenty to get us started. I haven't been paying too much attention to Certus quartz. I knew I would need some, so I picked some up when I see it, but I didn't specifically go looking for it. But as we just saw, there are machines that turn normal quartz into charged quartz, and there are some other things that we could do. So I think this will get us started. So what I'm trying to make right now is we are trying to make an inscriber is one of the tools that we're going to need. And for that, we got all the rest of this stuff, but we need a Fluix block, which is going to be 4 Fluix crystals. And the Fluix crystals are throwing in fluid. Let's drop 1 charged Certus quartz plus 1 nether quartz plus 1 redstone dust into a puddle next to one another and wait a moment to receive 2 Fluix crystals. So here we go, into water. So we've got our charged Certus quartz now. Nether quartz, I should have some of that. And redstone, should have plenty of that. So let us go throw stuff in water. This crafting mechanism always feels a bit ghetto to me, but hey, we're just getting started. So I made ourselves a little water thing here, and we're going to stand close so that we hopefully suck it up out of the water into our inventory, and we're going to throw and throw and throw. Hey, there we go. That weren't too bad. Throw, throw, throw. Just like we know what we're doing. And I think I'm going to need quite a bit of this. So I'm going to go ahead and... Now the thing I'll double check here, I'm pretty sure you can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and pull up a bunch of it. So yeah, we're up to 16 now. I think that'll get us started. Now that we know how to make it, we can make lots more of it. And you can just dump tons of stuff in there at once and don't have to do it one at a time. In some of those dumping things, like throwing stuff into a crucible, you have to sort of pay attention to your order of addition and pay attention to not like putting too much of anything in. But it looks like you can just dump it all in there. So we can now make one of these, and we can now make one of these. So now with the inscriber, does this thing need juice? I guess we'll throw it down somewhere and find out. Are there any of these machines I'm not really using at the moment? I actually don't think I'm going to use the Manufactory much anymore, so I'm going to pick that up for now, just in case this needs juice. And it does. So I'm going to throw the connector I just picked up off of our Manufactory, wire this up. So we got power. So now the way this thing works is basically, if I recall correctly, you put some things in. Let's see if we can click on recipes here. Usually there's a way to click on recipes. Apparently not. Okay, so we needed to make, where's our book? We are trying to make, I think, one of these, and the thing I needed the inscriber for was this. So we're looking to make a printed engineering circuit and a printed silicon and combine them with redstone to make an engineering processor. And for that, we need to use a one of these bad boys. Crafting presses are found in the center of meteorites, which can be found in and around the world and can be located by using a meteorite compass or just looking at your journey map if you have that available. So I did go ahead and I knew I was going to be needing these things, so I went ahead and where's my stuff? I went ahead and have been rating those meteorites, and there's 4 of these inscriber things, and I have gotten them. There's the engineering, the silicon, the logic, and the calculation. So let's see what we need to do here. We needed the engineering and the silicon. So engineering, and what do we put in there again? Redstone. Wait, is it redstone for the engineering one? Engineering circuit is, no, a diamond. So we need a diamond for the engineering circuit, and then the silicon was, oh, silicon, I don't think I have that. Ruh-roh. Alrighty, so we need to figure out this bad boy. Oh, maybe I do need my Manufactory still, because I don't have silicon dust, and I don't have an arc furnace, and I don't have an induction smelter, although I want one. I don't have an alloy smelter. Yeah, it looks like manufacturing turning sand into silicon ingots is the way we're going to get it's the way we're going to get silicon to make our thingy bobber. Alright, so another pause, and I will reset up the Manufactory. I'm going to need to start keeping more machines going. I might retire, well, might just build things out. Anyway, I will figure out our machine situation and make some silicon, and then we'll try and come back and use our inscriber, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have swung our charge pad around to the front of this capacitor and then slapped the Manufactory on the side of the capacitor. So we now have that back up in business, and we are making silicon ingots, which we can turn into silicon balls and hopefully get the stuff moving again. And probably we're just going to get the inscriber done and call it an episode, because I think we're running long already. Lots of new things and new machines and new techniques to use here. So that's taken a bit of time. But let's see, we are after... this bad boy, which means we need to just turn 2 of those into 2 of those. That I can do. Done. And now maybe we can use our inscriber. So we've already got, well, we've got the engineering one in there. We're actually working on silicon. So let me pull that back out and put in a silicon one. And I'm not sure how many of these we're going to need, so I'm just going to make 8 for now. You make 1 at a time. I think there's another inscriber that allows you to put in stacks. So we'll take a look at that. Right now I'll just make 4 of these just to get us moving. Oh yeah, here it is, Advanced Inscriber from AE2 Stuff. So that's apparently an add-on. So then we also need an engineering thing, which was a diamond, if I recall correctly. So make a few of those. Yeah, again, it won't let me put in a stack, but this thing's pretty fast. Looks like it takes some upgrades too, so we can take a look at that when we start mass producing stuff for our ME network to computerize all of our inventory and hopefully get into some auto crafting once I figure all that out. Alright, and put that there, and now we can go to, we need, just make 2 of these to start because I'm not sure how much I'm going to need of anything, and 2 redstone, or 1 redstone, 1 of everything. Right, we have made an engineering processor. 2 of them, in fact. So, let's see what we need to do next here. We are trying to make this bad boy. And we've got vacuum tubes. We're going to need 2 more Fluix blocks. That was some sort of acceptor, energy acceptor. So we need 2 more of those, which we got the stuff for. And now we need 1 of whatever these is, which need an iron ingot. Okay, and we need some of these. Which apparently means we need some of these. So nether quartz dust, quartz powder, Certus quartz dust. Definitely probably we want to use the nether quartz dust. So quite often I find the enrichment chamber works good, but it doesn't look like that's an option. So we got the macerator, gives us 1-for-1. We've got quartz grindstone, can give us 1-for-1. The mechanism crusher, which I haven't actually made yet because we've got plenty of crushers right now. Pulverizer is the same. Macerator is the same. The extractor is the same. Crusher, that uses the ore, but we can get more than that out of just bashing the ore, I think. Manufactory does 1-for-1, so it doesn't look like it matters. So this doesn't give us the option of using the broken quartz, so let's go with the macerator. Yeah, macerator. So we'll throw a little of that in there. How many did we need again? We probably want to make 6 is enough for now. Once I figure out what I'm doing, I'll mass produce all this junk. Alrighty, so that. I'm going to double that, or not. And we got 4 of those. And yay, we've got an energy acceptor. So all of this was to make... We're getting all sorts of advancements, not really getting any loot chests, but hey, we're getting something. Oops. So I have some of that cooking upstairs. We got some of that. A Fluix pearl. We need some of this. So we need Fluix dust. Crusher gets us 1-for-1. Macerator gets us 1-for-1. Alright, so it looks like any of that will work. I'll do the macerator again. We need, how many of those? We need 4. Probably going to have to go make, throw more Fluix crystals in there. Yes. Alright, I need to clean up my inventory. I need to go get my cooked sky stone. I need to make some more Fluix crystals. I'll be back real shortly, and we will finish up this ME Controller and open up Applied Energistics. Okay, so this is turning into somewhat of a marathon, but we're getting closer and closer. So we got the dust now. I made some more Fluix crystals. I ground some up in the macerator. We got dust, so we can now do the Fluix pearl. So now we've got everything but this control circuit board. And for that, we need a bunch of stuff. The circuit board, this gives us another chance to use the engineering bench. We need a copper plate, a couple of vacuum tubes, so we're going to have to make more of those. Insulating glass, so this one was one of those. But it turns out that it's any glass, a couple of pulverized iron, so those should be pretty easy. Green dye, I do always, when I'm in the game, grab myself some cactus, and you can make cactus green by just, where is it again? By just throwing some cactus in your basic furnace, and you can get some cactus green. So I got some of that. So we can make that. And then we take one of those, and 2 vacuum tubes. So I think we're going to have to make more vacuum tubes because I only got 1. So I showed you that already. It was like a nickel plate, some redstone, etc. I'll make some more vacuum tubes. I'll finish up our this. These are pretty boring. It's just a bunch of wire. So that's easy to make. So I'll do that off camera. The elite control units, you can bust out some of these. These are pretty easy to make. I've shown that in the past through the metallurgic infuser of mechanism. So yeah, I'll round all this up and then we'll do our final combine of this. I think that's all the fancy stuff we're going to need. Yeah. So I'm going to round up the rest of this, make our control circuit board, and we will be finished with the ME controller. Be right back. All right, and finally we're done. Making this ME controller was a bit of a marathon. It required some new techniques going into Applied Energistics, making crystals, throwing them in pools, yada yada. It also absolutely required components and machines from Immersive Engineering and Nuclearcraft and Mechanism. So this was definitely a cross-functional effort here across the mods, and I enjoy that aspect of this. It's forcing me to really learn and get to know a lot of mods that I'd never really used before. So in the process, we did make an elite control unit, so we get that from mechanisms. Tree. We got some tall, slimy grass. Okay. Whatever. And we also opened the gate to Applied Energistics, and I don't know which one of these I need. I guess I can. Let's double check that real quick and see if any of those are particularly harder to make than the others. So the pure Fluix crystal, you drop a Fluix seed into water, or the enrichment chamber will turn a Fluix crystal into a pure Fluix crystal. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad, so pure nether, again, and here we have to use an actual seed into that seed. We don't have a phytogenic bad boy, so Certus. Certus quartz crystal. I don't know. Don't think it matters because I think I'm going to have to end up making a ton of all of this. I'm just going to go with the. I think I'm going to use more of the pure Fluix crystals. So I'm just going to go ahead and get those. If it turns out that I made a poor choice there, then I will just have to make more stuff. It's cool. So we now can do this bad boy. So that's on our horizon. We might have damn near everything for that already. So we can push our way into RF tools, which will open the gate, I think, to, thermal expansion, which has some good stuff in it. So yeah, we're moving along. But we want to be pushing into. Oh, there's no Applied Energistics track here. But I've used it once when I was prepping to make this series. And I think what we're going to really try and push forward, if I have all the stuff to do it, is I think we're basically going to need. We've got a controller. I think we're going to need some ME drives. It's like a server case that you put disks into, so we're going to need some more of that stuff. Some of that stuff. I can do that. I'm going to probably end up needing more cactus, so I might start growing some or go harvest more from a desert. And I think we need to put the disks in, so we're going to need probably a bunch of these ME storage cells. Quartz glass. I think that's one that's going to eat up a bunch of quartz. Yeah. Alright, we can do that though. And we're going to want a bunch of the memory to put in the drives. We're going to be using that inscriber an awful lot. I might take a look at that advanced inscriber thing so we can put in stacks. But yeah, I think that we now have all the technology we need to get a controller and some Fluix cables and a drive and the storage cells and then the memory to put in the storage cells and actually get ourselves a computerized inventory, which will make me super, super happy. So I'm going to push on with this stuff, I think, if I have enough of everything. I don't know if I have enough nether quartz and Certus quartz to really get too far. I'm also probably going to need to start looking for a way to get a lot more iron. So we might have to do some resource gathering and look into some sort of more automated way of doing mining. But yeah, we're in business. We're going to gather a bunch of resources and computerize some inventory. And that will be nice because this is getting a little crazed. With that, I think I'm probably 10-15 minutes over my self-imposed limit of 30 minutes for one of these episodes. But getting Applied Energistics open was a big deal. I think that's going to be pretty central towards getting not only our inventory organized, but then moving on past that, getting up some automated crafting. So that's going to be huge for us. And until next time, I'm signing out, and hopefully next time we'll either push further on or we might have to look into some massive resource collection. Bye.